Level 1. The recruit.
The room is cool and quiet. Sensors record your breathing and heartbeat, while the equipment gathers simple data.
Needles scratch across paper. Your heart rate spikes. Every single secret you hold is slowly bleeding out right here.
50 identical recruits. You listen to a grown man cry next door. The farm breaks the week into tiny pieces.
Date of birth, January 1st, 1980. Last known address, Sector Gamma 4. Travel authorization code 79er-Lima.
Red ink stamps over your pale face. Trust is an illusion. You are nothing but an asset waiting for deployment.
A distorted voice demands your old life. You nod. The man you used to be dies in this soundproof room.
Level 2. The cover.
Silicone hides your real cheekbones. The broker counts dirty rubles in the corner. You wear a dead man's face perfectly. Neon red bleeds into the smoke. You push through drunks, tuning the micro earpiece to catch a highly encrypted frequency line.
A single connection bouncing through secure satellites. Untraceable lines. When the call ends, this device goes straight into the river.
32 keystrokes bypass Swiss routing protocols. You follow the invisible black fund. Money never sleeps, but it always leaves tracks. The burner phone hits the freezing concrete below. One set of coordinates written in pencil. The ghost is finally located. 72 hours without sleep. You chew on an unlit cigarette to keep focus. Blinking could mean losing the target forever.
Stale black coffee and crushed stimulants. Your heart pounds heavily against your ribs. The human body is just a machine.
Cold bullets with no serial numbers slide into the magazine. The radio hisses a final encrypted order to clean it up.
The target moves behind the dusty curtain. His tactical steps match yours perfectly. He was trained by the same ghosts. Wiping fingerprints with alcohol, you exhale slowly into the freezing air, forcing your racing heartbeat back down to 60 beats. A microscopic transmitter smaller than a grain of rice. It catches every breath he takes across the cold, empty street. You sit in silence, listening to a low recording through the headset. A distant voice from memory reminds you to stay focused.
Level 3. The hunt.
Freezing rain hits your face. You blend into the sea of umbrellas, keeping exact 20 meters behind the ghost. Neon bleeds into cold puddles. He leaves no footprint. Tracking a former legend requires you to become completely invisible. A coin-sized magnetic tracker sticks under the cold metal. Military hardware decodes the encrypted satellite ping. The red dot blinks on your screen. The prey is finally trapped. Untraceable cash buys his daily route. The broker takes the money without asking any dangerous questions about the target. A cheap flash drive holds the encrypted routine of a highly trained killer. Information is the sharpest weapon here. The heavy lens captures the exact moment of exchange. Every single frame documents a dead man walking very slowly. Burning plastic fills the room. Encrypted visual data packets cross the ocean. Langley watches him through your tired eyes. Medical tweezers extract a hidden microdot from the dead drop. You analyze the hidden message under a magnifying glass.
Level 4. The mechanics.
Greasy hands loosen the brake line perfectly. It will fail precisely at 80 kilometers per hour on the highway.
Frost covers the windows. You isolate the sharp metallic click of his car key turning through the noise-canceling headset. The heater burns your skin. Red marker circles the intersection. You calculate velocity and impact angle for maximum damage. Static interference fills your ear. The mechanical voice confirms the execution order. No ballistic evidence can be left behind. Black leather gloves burn the map. Fire consumes the physical evidence. You orchestrate a fatal accident, not an assassination. Blinding sunlight hits the cracked windshield. You slam the heavy clutch down. The ghost drives straight into your trap. Burning rubber stings your nose. The speedometer crosses 80. Your hands grip the wheel tightly as the distance closes. Screeching brakes echo through the earpiece. You taste blood in your mouth. The heavy steel machine prepares to crush.
Level 5. The cleanup.
Thick smoke burns your lungs. You step toward the crushed steel to verify the absolute removal of the target. Shattered glass surrounds a cracked mechanical watch. Time stops entirely for a ghost who trusted the wrong secure network. Screaming civilians surround the burning metal. You blend into the chaotic crowd perfectly, becoming just another shocked, innocent witness. Freezing wind cuts through the dark alley. You remove the heavy jacket, leaving absolutely no biological traces behind. Rain rain washes the blood away. You flash a forged Interpol badge to a confused local cop, securing the perimeter.
A laminated piece of plastic holds a fabricated identity. Official corruption makes cleaning up an assassination incredibly easy.
The morgue smells of harsh chemicals. You hand a thick envelope of dirty cash to the silent medical examiner.
Steel zippers echo in the freezing room. You pull the heavy plastic back to visually confirm the required elimination.
Level 6. The mirror.
Fluorescent lights flicker rapidly above the metal table. You stare at the dead man and see your own future.
The smell of formaldehyde makes you sick. You press the cold barrel against his neck, forcing a fabricated autopsy report.
Vulture. Actual report. Have you reached the rendezvous point?
Negative, sir. I'm encountering unexpected resistance.
Dried blood stains the heavy gray coat. You dig through his hidden pockets, searching for any remaining encrypted data. A scorched photograph shows a younger version of the ghost. He looks exactly like you did 10 years ago. You sit quietly in the dim room, listening to the slow rhythm of your breathing, while distant memories drift through your thoughts.
Reroute the black funds into the designated shadow account.
Very well. It is done.
Rain leaks through the shattered window. You pay the broker for a fake passport and a wet flight ticket.
You scrub your hands with heavy engine oil and a hard brush until they bleed. Yellow light illuminates the cracked mirror. Your trembling hands grip the porcelain sink. You are the very next ghost.
Level 7. The paranoia.
Paranoia creeps in at the crowded station. Every single passenger looks exactly like a covert operative sent for you.
The commander demands a detailed post-mission report. You rip the payphone cord out, severing your final tie to Langley.
A wet boarding pass to Geneva rests on the cracked glass. The return flight is nothing but an illusion. You hand over the remaining dirty cash for a forged passport. The broker avoids making eye contact with you. Accessing his shadow account reveals $50 million. You realize the system replaces loyal assets with cheaper offshore contractors. Encrypted codes flash green across the cracked screen. The black fund transfers instantly into your anonymous offshore banking setup. His pale face stares back from the dirty subway window. Your mind fractures under the heavy weight of betrayal. Peeling the silicone off your cheekbones feels like tearing real skin. You strip away the fake identity completely tonight.
Level 8. The Awakening.
You wake suddenly in the quiet motel room, listening to the still air as the dim moonlight stretches across the floor.
An empty magazine lies on the dusty bedside table. Ammunition is useless when the enemy controls the entire grid.
Sweeping the walls with a radio frequency detector. Silence is the only sound that truly terrifies a hunted operator.
Burning your tactical jacket inside a rusty barrel. You hide it among the homeless, disappear. A blinking camera tracks your movement down the alley. You know the commander is watching the feed from Langley. The fabricated passport bears a completely foreign name. You memorize the new birthday while forgetting your own real mother. You leave the unconscious operative bleeding on the wet asphalt. The eternal cycle of betrayal officially begins right now.
Level 9.
The Ghost.
You type the final deletion command into the encrypted terminal. The agency server permanently wipes your entire operational existence.
A heavy drill bit destroys the solid-state memory plates. All dirty secrets shatter into tiny metallic fragments. Walking slowly among tired travelers, you check the reflection on the glass sliding door for armed sniper spotters.
The Swiss banker verifies your mobile passcode through the static. $50 million vanishes into completely untraceable offshore accounts.
The liquid crystal display flashes 0 active connections. Black plastic melts slowly inside the rusted metal trash can. The broker slides a ceramic pistol across the dirty table. You load heavy hollow point rounds into the ceramic magazine. The cold, dark grip feels like old friends. Snow falls quietly on the empty dirt road. You sit inside a freezing tavern, blending with drunk local hunters. You stand in the quiet room, listening carefully as your thoughts drift between shadow and memory. cheap local alcohol trembles violently inside the dirty glass. Your hands refuse to remain perfectly steady anymore. You stitch a deep gash on your shoulder without medical anesthesia. Pain is the only thing keeping you alert. The static television broadcasts a fatal gas explosion downtown. You recognize the commander's signature cleanup operation immediately tonight. Throwing fake passports into the heavy canvas duffel bag. Staying in one place longer than 40 hours means death. A red marker crosses out 7 different major safe house locations. The safe world shrinks with every passing hour. You spot a young man wearing the exact same tactical boots. The agency finally found your isolated snowy cabin, tying a thin tripwire to a high-explosive fragmentation grenade. You secure the main wooden door with heavy chains. Two silent hollow point rounds drop the new recruit instantly. You step over his bleeding body without feeling anything. His dead eyes stare blankly at the frozen wooden ceiling. You just killed the ghost of your own past.
Level 10. The retiree.
Langley broadcasts a global burn notice through the shattered earpiece. You crush it under your heavy tactical boot.
Biometric data freezes slowly under falling snow. Another loyal asset is erased completely from the central database tonight.
Hiding among frozen meat and diesel fumes, you cross the heavily guarded border without triggering any biometric alarms. The young killer carried a ticket to your exact location. The agency cycle repeats itself with flawless mechanical precision. Yellow flames consume the fabricated boarding pass. Identity is merely a piece of paper waiting to be burned.
The Swift account is completely locked down. $50 million vanishes into thin air like it never existed.
Hot-wiring a rusted pickup truck in freezing temperatures. The old broker warned you that nobody truly retires here.
Tired hands grip the cracked leather steering wheel, speeding through the empty night towards the absolute end of the line.
The final safe house stands alone in the dark woods. You drag your exhausted body up the wooden steps.
The silent house remains still as drifting dust moves through the morning light and distant memories quietly return.
Heavy Kevlar hits the cracked ceramic tiles. You finally strip away the heavy armor of a dead government asset. Shattered ceramic plates and dried black blood. The tactical gear served its purpose, but the operator is utterly broken. Standing perfectly still before the yellowed sink, the dead target flashes violently across your severely sleep-deprived, bleeding eyes. Freezing water mixes with thick engine oil. You scrub your hands violently, desperately trying to wash the sins away. Red blood and black grease swirl down the rusty drain. The physical stains vanish, but the internal corruption remains forever. Bleeding hands grip the shattered porcelain sink tightly. Your knuckles turn completely white under the flickering fluorescent yellow light. You stare directly into the dirty mirror. The reflection shows nothing but a completely hollow ghost waiting to die. 50 frightened recruits fade from your mind. You have officially become the exact monster you were trained to hunt. Your new photograph burns slowly in the ashtray. The hunt is over, but the eternal cycle just started again.
Level 11. The Cycle.
The infrared sensor flashes bright red in the dark. Someone crosses the heavily rigged perimeter outside. Static snow fills the dirty monitor. You watch a young tactical operator moving exactly like you did. Cold sweat stings your eyes. You check the heavy hollow point rounds before locking the ceramic magazine. A thermal satellite printout shows your exact frozen location. Langley never truly loses its most dangerous assets. Freezing wind screams outside. The invisible commander echoes in your fractured mind, ordering your immediate and silent removal. Freezing air rushes through the broken door. You aim the ceramic pistol at the dark wooden gap. Heavy tactical boots crush the rotting wooden floorboards. The newest ghost steps slowly into your frozen trap. Flickering streetlights reveal his incredibly young face. You recognize that exact same terrifying fear in his eyes. Sulfur fills the quiet room. You slowly lower your ceramic weapon, finally accepting your brutal systemic retirement. A black suppressor emerges from the absolute darkness. The cold metal absorbs the pale winter moonlight perfectly. The cold floor touches your feet as distant memories slowly return, blending quietly with the silence of the empty room. You close your exhausted eyes completely. 50 identical gray shirts stare back from your deeply shattered memory. Your fabricated identity turns into black ash. The system successfully erases another broken operator from the grid. breaks the absolute silence. Boiling blood immediately soaks through your heavy gray wool sweater. Your vision blurs quickly. The shaking recruit picks up the burner phone exactly like you once did.
Dark red blood pools on the rotten pine floorboards. The empty return ticket is finally permanently canceled.
Freezing cold paralyzes your broken spine. You exhale your final breath as the brutal cycle completes itself.
The story you just heard is fiction, but the system that creates people like this is running right now. If this made you think, drop a comment.